Hello, and welcome to the Elite Lizzard Publishing Company podcast on YouTube. This is the first one, and we're going to talk about today traditional publishing and why it's the most affordable way to go. With publishing traditionally, the publisher cannot charge you any fees. So that means if you have written a children's story or if you have not done a cover or any of that stuff, your traditional publisher will cover and do all the costs related to that. So that entails editing, cover artwork, formatting, etc. The only thing that the traditional publisher will ask of you, and it's completely optional, and this is your own discretion, is for you to obtain copyrights from the governments. So either if you're in the States, then you would go and get a US copyright. If you're in Canada, you would do that as well. So basically that means although the traditional publisher is publishing your book, you still own all the rights to that book. They can advocate for you in regards to getting you a movie deal or getting you into the bookstores and etc. like that. But as far as anything else, no. So you still own it, but you are under contract that the publisher has the rights to publish your book and distribute it how they see fit and market it and so on. So if you are contemplating publishing your book and you're thinking, well, I'm going to go on my own, it's probably free to do that anyways, and that's basically what a traditional publisher would do anyway, you are kind of mistaken, because we do a lot background stuff that you don't see. We email various independent bookstores, and whatever place that we feel would be suited to your book. So we're doing a lot of the legwork and trying to get your book out there as well. So a traditional publisher is not just there to publish your book and get sales. They're actually trying to market your book as well. So that's another component of what a traditional publisher does. So traditional publishing is a good route to go if you don't have finances to enable to invest in, let's say, illustrations for children's book. The average illustration prices vary. It can go from anywhere from, I'd say, minimum $30 and up per page. So depending on how many pages you have and how you envision this book, if you're going to do this on your own, then you have to consider this is an investment that you're going to have to do on your own. With a traditional publisher, we work with the author to see what their vision is and how they would like to see the book. But the overall final decision is up to the traditional publisher, because we know a little more about the market and we know what will sell better than, with illustrations and stuff. So illustrations is a very, very key component when it comes to children's books, obviously, because that's a very visual thing. And you have to consider that kids are interested in the book, but it's the parents that are buying it. So you really have to appeal to the parents as well as the children. So that's my take on traditional publishing. We're going to be discussing next time if you wanted to go on your own and more in depth in the self-publishing and all the things that it entails. Please note that a traditional publisher does go and outsource, or if they have in-house editing, they do that as well. And again, this is not a cost that you have to pay. So bear that in mind when you're looking for a traditional publisher, that there should be no costs. And so my company has traditional, and we have people who are submitting, and I cover the costs for all of the illustrations, on and on. Whereas, if they wanted to go on their own and they just wanted to require my services for illustrations or for a cover, that's a completely different thing. I don't publish them. I just give them the illustrations and they're off they go. So that's the differences between traditional and if you're looking at vanity publishing, then you actually pay the publisher to publish your book. So that's another avenue that you can go. You can also do another publishing avenue where you're only publishing X amount of books and you're not on any online services. So that's another way to go too. So there's a lot of different ways you can publish your book. It just depends on what you're interested in investing, because it is an investment. And like I tell everybody who comes across me, when it comes to publishing, it is a 3-year commitment before your book starts to take some kind of traction and it starts to build momentum, and the more and more people get to know it. And it starts with your own key demographic, your own area where you're trying to sell your book. So that's another thing where we're going to be touching on in another podcast about when you're writing a book, what are the things that you should be keeping in mind when you're writing. So that's going to be another podcast. So stay tuned, subscribe. You know where to find me for the next podcast, and we're going to try and build some podcasts here to give you the best information that you can going forward as a writer, and what your decisions will be for the outcome of your book. Have a great day.